It's about 6:30 p.m. West Coast time on Friday, July 18th. This has simultaneously been an unimaginably good week and an incredibly fucking weird week and just an awful week. And all three of those things have been true at the same time. Um, it started out on Sunday. I hit 1 million followers on this app, which I still can hardly process. That's not something I ever in a million years thought would happen. It's not something that I had placed any level of importance on. It's not something that I had pursued or really been paying attention to until last weekend. Like on Friday, I guess it started. I was like, oh shit, I'm close to 1 million. And and then it happened. It happened at like lunchtime on Sunday. And initially I was like, oh wow, man. Initially I was like, that's pretty amazing. That's quite a thing. I didn't really like classify it as an accomplishment because I didn't follow me. It was other people who followed me. But at the same time, I enjoyed it for about 4 minutes. And then because my brain is my brain, instead of being grateful for the 1 million plus people who had followed me, my brain focused instead on the 6 or 8 people on this app who have tried to do and inflict the most unimaginable amounts of harm on me that you can fathom. And 2 years ago, largely succeeded in that regard when I got doxxed and I got fired. And then the handful more a year ago who, after I was like, Joe Biden didn't do very well in his debate against Donald Trump, they decided that they were going to make my life an absolute living fucking hell. And it was confusing for me that I was focusing on these fucking ass clowns as opposed to these people who like me, but that's the way my brain decided to start off the week. So it was just a lot of reminders of trauma and things like that, and then I like shut down. I like physically shut down for like a day and a half. And came to understand that I had a lot of things still to process from that period of time. So I worked at that and I worked on that and I tried to work through that. It was just fucking weird, man. It was just fucking weird. And then, we had the events of the week, and I mean, like from up here, it was a great week for me in my life. Wednesday night I got to hang out with my friend Shahana at our favorite punk rock bar in San Francisco, V Parkside on 17th. And then on Thursday, I got to hang out with my bandmates Anu and Clint at my other favorite punk rock bar in San Francisco, Bender's, on South Van Ness at 19th. And, and then, starting on Wednesday, this whole process started of, I was going to go live with Tim Miller today on the Bulwark's TikTok page. And then TikTok, of course, being TikTok, early this morning permanently banned the Bulwark's TikTok page. And Tim and I were texting back and forth about that. And I was like, welcome to TikTok, bud. I mean, I can't imagine anything more on brand for TikTok than that. Permanently banning the TikTok page of the fucking Bulwark, who they do nothing other than post clips from their podcasts. And TikTok's like, we will not have that kind of tomfoolery on this Chinese-owned app. That will not be tolerated. And so that whole thing fell apart. We're rescheduling it for next week. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I mean, fuck, who knows, man? At this point, who the fuck knows? But I hope that comes together. I appreciate everybody who watched when my brother and I went live anyway today at noon West Coast time on my TikTok page and our YouTube page. And then, you know, then I had a bunch of work that I had to get done before and after that live today. And then I had to take a nap for a little bit because I was just fried. And then I just watched, I got up from my nap. I came in, wandered over to my computer, and the guys from the Bulwark were live because Andre, Jose Hernandez Romero, the gay makeup and hair artist from Venezuela who had been kidnapped by the United States and sent to Secot prison in El Salvador. He and 250 other Venezuelan immigrants that the Trump administration had kidnapped and shipped to a foreign fucking gulag had been released from that gulag and returned to Venezuela. I still don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but at least they're out of that prison. And it's just like, I've just been ping-ponging between, you know, being very appreciative and feeling a deep level of gratitude this week for the things that I've experienced this week. I've been ping-ponging back and forth between that and wanting to just completely shut down and go hide in a hole and go up into the woods and just ignore everybody forever. You know, and last week I was feeling that quite a bit, but I didn't have my dogs. And this week I had my dogs. And so it's like when I took a nap for an hour this afternoon, I got to snuggle up with both of my dogs to take a nap. And that was one of the best things that happened to me all week. And the emotional roller coaster that Donald Trump and his inbred fart huffing, mouth breathing, cousin humping, half smart supporters have inflicted upon us for the last decade. I'm angry about that. I miss the life that I had before that corpulent protuberance came gliding down his golden escalator in that shitty building that he built in Manhattan. I miss the life that I had before he did that. I miss the person that I was before he did that. I miss a lot of things about that, but I'm a straight, cisgendered white guy with a law degree in the United States. I have every privilege that this country has to offer except for generational wealth. So I fully recognize that my experience of all of those things is different than the experience of others who don't have those privileges. But if you still support Donald Trump as of 6:41 p.m. West Coast time, July 18th, 2025. If you still support Donald Trump today, as of that time, go fuck yourself. Have a great weekend.